This is Dr. Matt Barber of Alabama Orthopedic Clinic. We are proud supporters of Ransom Reprogram, Ransom Ministries, and all of the good work that they do in our community. If you would like to learn more about us, check us out at alortho.com or barbertotaljoint.com. You can also hear more from me personally on the Ortho Real podcast. Thank you again for allowing us to be involved with Ransom Ministries and all of the great work that they do.
Hey, welcome to the Ransom Experience. My name is Matt Armbruster, Executive Director of Ransom Ministries. You're going to hear stories from people that we've served and people that serve alongside us, as well as those that we partner with throughout our community. You're going to hear about decisions they made throughout their life and things that happened through different avenues of their life that caused them to go down a path that they didn't see themselves going. And then also those decisions that they have to make on a daily basis to stay away from those decisions that they made in the past. Ransom Ministries empowers people to utilize their God-given gifts and talents in their career and for their community. All along the way, we learn how to help those close to us and also maybe even help ourselves. This is real. This is raw. This is Ransom.
With every star.
This show is brought to you by Ransom Recycling, your number one choice for electronic recycling in Mobile, Alabama. Help reduce waste in our landfills by recycling all of your unwanted, unused, and non-working electronics. Ransom Recycling is a division of Ransom Ministries that is helping to put men and women back to work. Check out ransomministries.com for a complete list of acceptable items. Drop-offs and pickups can be easily scheduled through the website. Please note that we are not accepting TVs at this time. Ransom Recycling, open 8 to 3 Monday through Friday. Help our planet while helping men and women re-enter the workforce.
With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head.
Hey, welcome to the Ransom Experience, where we talk to people in our organization, people that have been through it, people that volunteer with us, and we go through a day-to-day and tell their stories. I hope you've been enjoying it. We're in our second season of the Ransom Experience. We just posted our second episode last week, and this week I thought that I would talk a little bit about this past year at Ransom and what all's been going on for those out there that don't really know kind of what we do. You know, we started in 2010, and we started as just a feeding ministry. We had a Ransom Cafe, and then as we evolved, we knew that if we put people back to work, that would transform our community even more. So we started Ransom Reprogram, a job training, life skill training program that we went through a curriculum, 18 sessions, and we taught them everything from being a person of character to showing up to work on time, doing the things that a lot of people take for granted. And as we did, we realized we needed a work element in that, and we started Ransom Recycling back in 2019, and we have brought many people through that program in the process. Over the year, we have had 100 participants go through our program. Of those 100, 84 graduated, which is 84%. And of those 84, 70 are full-time employed right now, which is an 83% success rate. I'm not really big into the number part of it, but I thought maybe you would understand and want to know kind of how many people went through. Our whole mentality here is called an ESA, an employment social enterprise, and it's a social enterprise with a social mission, and it applies to commercial strategies to maximize social impact. It embeds a transitional job program into the social enterprise to more effectively serve the marginalized populations. Through Ransom Recycling, we provide eligible participants. The way you are eligible is if you're coming out of prison, addiction, or homelessness, and you're ready to just make that next step into employment so that you can get back to the community and become all that God wanted you to be. It's an entry-level position. They get paid an hourly wage, around 30 hours a week, and we mentor them while recycling electronics. They participate in the classes, the 18 sessions, the whole time they're getting paid. So, of those 2 hours each day, they go through that program. It's all part of their paid training. And then they go through that process. Then they get forklift certification. We offer that. We offer OSHA training. We do soft skill classes, job readiness training. The eligible participants must be at least 18 years of age, legally able to work in the United States. They are unemployed or underemployed, and they have struggled with addiction, poverty, or incarceration. It's around 90 to 120 days that they go through that program. The whole time they're going through class time. They're going through the process of learning how to work. Some people learn how to work sober again, and you probably heard that in some of our podcasts, and the people that you've heard from over the year, you see that it's a process that we go through, and it's a process that they go through. One thing that we did notice this year is that we needed to add a few more services that we weren't able to provide, whether that be health, medical attention, counseling, and just an added layer of accountability. Some of our partners, the Home of Grace, we get women from their program. That's a women's rehab here in Mobile, and they come here for the last month of their program, and they go through the curriculum. Some of those then come into our job part of it after they graduate, and they go through the job training. We have a few right now. The other partners we have are Pardons and Paroles. They send us people. Waterfront Rescue Mission, Wings of Life, which is a men's rehab. Waterfront Rescue Mission is a homeless ministry. Pardons and Paroles obviously gets people that are coming out of prison. And we partner with them, and we take their individuals and we take them hopefully to the next level of employment. It's a process that we go through, and I know that, not everybody works out, obviously, but the good majority of them do, as you can see by the numbers that we have. It has been a successful mission. I guess the reason I'm kind of wanting to share this today is I'd like you to be aware of what we do, first of all, but also be aware of ways that you can help, the ways that you can get involved. Our philosophy is ABCs of work: any job, better job, a career. So our participants work in any job, which is the recycling. They practice the soft skills that they learned in the classroom, the life skills. And then after they graduate, we connect them with either a local business, or we put them into our Ransom Staffing Services, which we also started this year, which is a staffing company that sends these graduates out into the workforce to local companies that need temporary help. Hopefully those temporary positions will turn into permanent, which we have had a few. We've had 2 this year that moved from temporary to permanent. And we also have a partner company called Merchants Transfer that we work with, and they have been a great asset to us. Then hopefully they move on to the C, which is the career for long-term success. We have one individual that's moving on to a career. He moved from the A job to the C job, which is not normal, but it does happen in some individuals. So as we go about that process, it does cost money. We do generate a lot of our money. We really, as a ministry, want to be able to produce at least 50% of our revenue ourselves. So then we don't rely so much on donations. As a ministry, we've always believed that free handouts aren't always the best way, and they a lot of times will keep people where they are. So we figure as a nonprofit that we should do the same thing. We should generate some of our revenue. I guess, lack of a better word, that we have skin in the game. And we hope that donors and partners will see that and they'll want to get involved with us. We're a 501c3 organization. We take donations through our website, and also you can mail a check to our location here in Chickasaw, Alabama. Another way that you can get involved is to give us your electronics. Anything with a cord except televisions, we bring in, we take apart. It keeps us working. It also generates revenue. We also look for companies that are looking for temporary help, that are willing to take a chance on those individuals that we have brought through our program. Another way you can help is that we always need what we call coaches. There are people that meet with our individuals on a weekly basis for about an hour. We go over a plan of action. From day one, they start a plan of action, what they need. Do they need driver's licenses? Do they need all the different things? Then they work through that program with their coach, trying to get these things resolved so that when they go into full-time employment, that they don't have those things overhanging them. And then that coach walks through them, talks with them each week about the struggles they're having, the things they're doing. They set them goals, and then they hold them accountable for those goals. It's just really be a friend. So we need people that can do that, men and women, business people, whoever can, spare an hour where they meet with them. We also enjoy people to come out here and just come to our circle time. Circle time is a morning ritual that we put together, that we sit down and we just talk about life with the people that are in our program, which we call those teammates. And we talk about everything from football to, your home life to the way you were upbringing. This morning, we talked about honesty and how important that is on the job, but also how important that is in our daily life. So you can be involved with that. You can also come in and you can lead a class. I say teach, but it's really just leading and using your personal experiences to help someone see that there's more to life than just, struggling. You can help with that. You can also provide lunches. We provide lunches on a daily basis for our crew. That way they don't have to spend money on going out to eat. And also it produces a time for them to get to know each other and build this team that we're trying to build. And that's another way that you can. Of course, you can give money through our website. We love donations, and any donation is good. It takes about $5,000 to put someone through this program from start to finish. So you could sponsor someone going through the program for a $5,000 donation, or you can do a smaller donation, and then that would team up with others to make that possible to cover any other expenses. One thing I always try to talk about is that when you invest in Ransom Ministries, it's investing in our community. It takes about $31,000 to put someone in jail for a year. And using that instead, let's take our $5,000 and put 6 people through this program for that same amount of money, and then they are no longer a cost to our community. But they also add other values to our community. They don't have to go through health care without paying for it, police force for doing any kind of crime, drug addiction, incarceration that cost us money as a community and as taxpayers. Also, it affects generations, because if you think about it, we don't necessarily have kids. I told you they had to be 18 or older to go into our program. But these individuals are moms and dads, and those kids are watching their parents now become, crucial and very vital parts of our community, and they're seeing that example so that when they grow up, they know that we were made to work and that work is part of our job, more or less. So it helps generations. We help children. We help families. And most of all, it helps our community be a stronger, more vital community, and that they can be all that they're supposed to be instead of having the drain of criminal activity or drug addiction or homelessness. I know there's a lot of people out there, build more prisons, build more homeless shelters, build more tiny homes or whatever. But I'm a firm believer if we can get people back to work, that will transform our community, and we won't have to have those things, and we won't have to do the things that we do now, but we can actually come alongside them and be workers within our community to make these communities a better place to live for everyone. So that's kind of our philosophy on work. This year has been really rough as far as donations. We're down about 15%, even over last year, COVID year, but we also aren't getting the grants that we got before. So if you have some extra money that you don't know what to do with, you can always go to ransomministries.com and you can make a donation there that's totally tax deductible. We also love, again, for people to get involved, come see what we're doing. I'd love for you to come out and tour our facilities at 320 South Craft Highway, and you can see what we do and fall in love with what we do. And if it's not something that you want to get involved with, I totally get it. I totally understand. This is not for everyone. But I really felt like this call or this podcast, I just was going to do a plea. You know, I don't really like asking for money. I don't like asking for those things. I really just want to trust God with that. But I want to give you the opportunity to sow into the individuals that go through our program and see the blessing it is to them. I think you could go back on previous episodes of our podcast and you can hear the stories of individuals that have their lives have totally been transformed through their time here at Ransom. And your tax deductible donation is a huge part of that, is a huge part of making that possible. Because without that and without our supporters and our partners, we couldn't do what we do. So that's one. Those are ways that you can get involved with Ransom Ministries. You can also pray for our staff and pray for our teammates and pray for those that are volunteering and teaching and coaching and doing all the different things. We partner with some other organizations. We partner with Victory Health, and they help us with health care for our people. But also we deal with Veterans Recovery, which is a organization that does therapy and does trauma-informed care and things like that. And they have been a great partner for us to offer. And we also partner with some local dentists that we can offer dental work and all those things that they need to, first of all, feel better about themselves, but also become all that they were supposed to be. I know that's a lot in this short period of time, and I know that you probably get inundated with organizations asking for money in the last part of the year. But most of these nonprofits out here bring in a huge part of their budget in December, and we are no different than that. We bring in a good portion of our donations, especially during that time. So just think of us when you're thinking of your year-end contributions, your tax-deductible donations. Think of Ransom Ministries. Go pray about it, but help someone out there. There's so many great organizations in our community and the communities all over this country that need your help to do what they're doing to better serve our community. A couple things that we got going on coming in 2022, and I'll kind of touch on them really, really quick, is that we're trying to get some added equipment there where we can actually break down and produce more revenue, but also take more items through our recycling. So we're looking to buy this equipment. We're looking at it's about $185,000. We're trying to raise that money, but we're also looking for other avenues. So anybody out there, you got $185,000 to get rid of, or $50,000 or $10. Send it. You can put in the comments for recycling machine. We're also refurbishing one of our units in the shopping center next to us, and we're going to have that as our standalone classroom so that we can offer that for other things as well as our reprogrammed classes. We have a lot of cool things that we have planned. These machines that we're talking about will take us from being able to take 12 individuals through our program at one time to being able to take around 20 to 21 through our program in a given time. So it will almost double our output of people, because if you really look back, we're not a money-driven organization. We're people-driven, and our bottom line is people. How many people in a year can we help get back into our community, back into the workforce, and back to being producers in our community? So if we can double that this year, that would be phenomenal. If we could bring more people through this program, that would be a blessing to all of us, including you out there listening. I tell people too, that $31,000 that they pay to go to prison for 1 year, we're going to pay for it one way or the other. We might as well pay for it trying to get them back to work. And hopefully that you'll find it in your heart to give. Again, if you don't give to Ransom, give to somebody out there, because God made us to be givers, not takers. And we are here to change the world. That's what we're here for. And the way we're going to do that is to love those around us, no matter who they are, no matter what their belief system is, no matter if they believe the same way you believe. God calls us to love them anyway. If you wanted to find out more about us, again, go to ransomministries.com. You can also go to all of our social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. Also, there's been some magazine. If you go to lanyapmobile.com, they have a newspaper they put out on a weekly basis. There's a whole story about Ransom. It's got stories of our participants. It's got stories of how we started. And then you can read that. It's in the 2 different papers. You can look at it. Was the week of Thanksgiving and the week after. I'd love for you to read that. You can find out a lot more. Share that with your friends. Share this organization with your friends. Someone out there you might not want to get involved, or you might not want to give, but somebody out there might. So share that on your social media as well. Share our posts on your social media. Subscribe, send our podcast out to your friends, have them subscribe. I'd love for you to review. Tell me what you'd really like to hear. Tell me what you didn't like. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. But most of all, just pray that we can continue transforming people's lives, empowering them to understand their God-given gifts through their career. And I appreciate y'all listening. I hope everyone has an awesome Christmas. By the way, on December 17th, we are going to have an open house at our location at 320 South Craft Highway. I invite you to come out, see what we're doing, meet the people. Also, we'll have some Christmas goodies and some drinks and things out here. We'd love to have you come spend a few minutes. It's a drop in, drop out. You don't have to stay long. Just come through. We'll give you a tour of our facility and let you know what's going on and where we're going. God has a huge vision for us. We're setting our goals for 2022, and we're excited to see what God's going to do. Next week, I'll bring you another episode. It'll be not me talking the whole time. We'll bring you another interview of one of our teammates and how God has changed their lives. Go back and listen to the past episodes. I know you'll be blessed. And until then, I'll see you next week.
Too many days in the darkness without a glimpse of the light. Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight. With